Hi guys and welcome back. I am here with episode 3 of Space Talks. This is going to be some Battlefield content that you are looking at. Some of the new close quarters stuff that just released for premium members about a week ago or so. Have been a lot of fun with that, but that is not the topic of discussion for today. So as I mentioned in the last one, we are going to be talking about space and specifically aliens in this episode. And a lot of you guys are probably thinking that aliens is something way out of the norm. There's no way we can actually talk about this in a scientific manner. Well, I've been gone for 2 weeks as you can see, and I've been doing my fair share of research on this subject, so hopefully I bring you guys some stuff that you find intriguing and hopefully makes you think differently about the whole subject beyond just saying there's a UFO and thinking there's some crackpot out there that doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. So what I want to first start off today is with aliens we have to understand the theory of evolution, and I say theory because nothing in science is actually proven for fact. I mean, there are a few things that they call scientific fact, but in everything else it is a theory. So along the lines of the evolution theory is how we are going to get to talking about aliens here. So what we can see with evolution is things in our daily lives, and it's called microevolution, and it's this thing where if you start taking a medicine, say you get an antibiotic from your doctor to help beat this cold that you have, and it gives it to you and it starts working at first. I'm sure we've all had this, it starts working, starts killing the bacteria, but then the bacteria comes back and starts fighting and gets sicker again, and they have to throw something new at it. Well, the reason that's happening is that your body is building up an immunity, is learning what's being thrown at it and overcoming that obstacle, and that's kind of what evolution is. It's just your body adapting to everyday situations and becoming better as a result of it. So that's what we have going on with microevolution. You can also see that with the wolves being domesticated into dogs. If you try to go get a wolf out there and bring it home, chances are it's not going to be too happy and want to bite your face off. Well, now we have dogs that don't end up doing that. So that's what we see as microevolution. Macroevolution is the whole, looking at the body of amino acids in a lake being struck by lightning, becoming, life, and then evolving from that into fish, into ape, into men, that whole type of thing. And I'm not going to get too much into that because I know it is a touchy subject, and sometimes religious viewers don't like to hear about that. So I don't want to really come at anybody about that type of thing. It's just kind of something I believe, and it's more or less what this topic depends on. So that aside, what we're going to be talking about is the sweet spot where life can exist, and that's just life as we know it. But there's the sweet spot that I was talking about in the Sun and then the Pluto commentary, both I believe I brought it up, where we have to be in a very specific range away from our star, which is the Sun, in order for life to exist, where we can have an atmosphere where we can have all the chemicals and everything, the elements that make up life, and be able to sustain life. So that happens here on Earth, but we also find this out among a lot of the stars in the galaxy. I mean, we have billions of stars out there in our universe, and it just has to be a planet that's the same ratio away from their star as what we are from Sun. And a lot of scientists have discovered that in planets out there, and seeing that there is the sweet spot, and there are a lot of planets that reside in there. Now, it's hard to tell how many for certain because they look into the sky and they can see a lot of the stars. I mean, they shine brightly. Even our sun is kind of hard to see from a long ways away, but a lot of these stars do shine very brightly and we're able to see them. Well, planets aren't as easy to see, so it's not exactly as easy to see these planets from as far away as we are. I mean, because our closest stars are light years away. I believe Vega is the closest star, and that one is about 25 light years away from Earth and our solar system. Still, it's a decent ways out there. That means if you were to start out today heading at the speed of light, which is impossible as we know it so far, it would take 25 years. So, I mean, that's why it's kind of hard to see these planets out there, but we do know that there are some of them that exist within that sweet spot away from their star, and that gets me to thinking that there could be extraterrestrial life out there. Now, to explain the term extraterrestrial a little bit more, what you need to understand is terrestrial means an Earth-like planet. So when we say extraterrestrial, we mean something that came from another Earth-like planet, one that is able to support life as we know it. And I keep saying as we know it because that is a very crucial part of this, because life makes up a certain way in our Earth, and it all has this basic makeup of carbon and the oxygen, breathing, and all that kind of stuff, because even fish breathe oxygen even though they're underwater. It gets cycled through and they pull the oxygen out of the water, and that's how they continue to breathe. So that is how we know life on this planet, is just the carbon-based life forms, but it could be made up differently on other planets. It might not be called life just because it is different from what we see, but it still could be the same type of thing. It could be something made up completely different and look completely different than what we know. So that's why I keep saying that it's, life as we know it. But it could be that way on these extra planets out there, because say we go back into the start of man and how we all began, starting with the amino acids and lightning striking that and the whole life being sparked from that point. So if that can happen here on Earth, what's to say it can't happen in another type of planet, another area that's kind of like the same buildup of Earth? What's to say that that couldn't happen? And since we've been able to see those across the galaxy and across the universe, there's a high chance that I believe those could happen. Now, if we look at evolution, it does take a long time to get to the point where we're at. I mean, we've been around for billions of years since the beginning of the Earth, and since that happened, we've come a long ways. So the chance of some other civilization being at the same point we are in the evolutionary cycle is slim to none, and especially getting in contact with each other. Because if you think about it, only about 50 years ago did we come up with radio technology, and that radio technology, if you were to stack all of them upon each other, would not even travel outside of our little area in the Milky Way. So it's kind of hard to think that we would be able to make contact with another species at this point in time, especially since we're all evolving on a different scale. So I do believe that there could be aliens out there. There could be something that, is life. It is a little bit different than what we know, but I don't think us ever making contact is very realistic, because as we continue to live in this on this Earth and in this solar system, we're going to continue to evolve past what we know. That's why we have some of these fossil dating records that go back to showing the Neanderthals and the cavemen, if you will, that show that we've progressed past that. We think a little bit more differently, we move a little bit more differently, look a little bit more differently. So we've been evolving steadily, and these other species could as well on these other planets, but the chance of us being along the same lines at the same point in time is very hard to believe that we'd be at that same point. So that's why I believe that they are out there, but they're probably not the same place we are. So basically, that's my whole 2 cents on the subject. I do apologize if I offended anybody talking about evolution in such detail. Please don't start a religious debate in the comments section. I will delete that if I see that, not because I don't think that's your right to be able to speak about what you believe. I mean, I'm doing the same. It's just I don't think that this is the right forum. I'm speaking from a scientific aspect, and I'm telling you about scientific theory, and it is theory at that. Nothing has been proven 100%. This is just what we believe to date, and there's the best evidence to back this up right now, but it is always subject to change. So I'm not preaching absolute truth here. I wish that you don't do the same in my comments, and other than that, I think we'll be set. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please remember to leave a rating. I'd love to see what you guys think, maybe even a comment, maybe subscribe if you haven't already, but I will be back with another commentary here. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about in episode 4 yet, but I'm sure it's going to be some great stuff. So again, hope you enjoyed this. Catch you next time.